Doing it live. All right, fantastic. Welcome to the stream. Anybody popping in right out the gate here? All right. So, XRP is kind of doing what I said I was going to do in my TA video, unfortunately, where I said we're going to go up and tag 28, but we've now broken through 28 cents. We're trying to tag 29. What's up, Ronald? How's it going, dude? Ronald. I don't know why I keep saying Ronald. Ronald, how you doing today, dude? Oop. It's doing some positive stuff there, Cryptic Life. Some positive stuff. Look at that. Oh, look at that candle. We ain't seen a candle like that in weeks. Weeks, my friend. Weeks. I mean, even back to the 18th of August, man. Look at that. That candle right there, that's weak sauce. That's some weak sauce candles right there. And it's just not comparable to this candle that we're seeing right here. And it's just the beginning of the day. And oh my God, hiya! Morning, everybody. Morning. Yes, indeed. It's a great morning to wake up to some beautiful price action, right? I'm trying to figure out when we've had a comparable candle to this. And it's looking like the last time we've had a candle even close to this would have been the 11th of May. Wow, really? The last time that we've had a candle of this caliber was before our big pump back in May, or back in June, or May really, all the way up to almost 50 cents, right? What was it, 48 that we tapped out, basically? And I shaved 5% at 28. You took 5% profit at 28? Man. See, that's why I don't personally do day trading on things anymore, because like technicals just they're not good, you know. They're TA works until it doesn't work, and it always fails at the point where you're going to either deny yourself maximum profits, or you know, where you should have been selling out before so that you don't incur massive losses, you know, because you buy the dip and you're like, oh yeah, that's the technical limit. It's not going to go below there, and then you buy, and then it collapses, and you're like, well, I'm a moron, right? That's why TA is a joke. That's why I don't do it too often on the channel unless it's like, you know, there was some kind of setup that I felt like, okay, this is an indicator that things are going to break that way. And like I even said in my my last TA video, you know, like when we were testing this, what was it, 2 or 3 days ago here? I think it was literally this candle here. I was saying, oh wow, we tested 26, almost 27. I think that we could see a correction and a leg up, and that's exactly what's happening now. But you know, it's not always right, and it's hard to call those kind of things. How's it going, XRPJT? Rissus MU, how you doing? People chiming in the XRP DCA club. Anybody that's in the chat, if you're not in the dollar cost averaging club, what are you doing? You know, I'm making a video about us pumping, but you know, whenever we dump, that's when you want to be in that dollar cost average club, so you know when to buy, right? It's cool. Call me Ron. I'm doing well. How you doing? About you, my friend? Having a golden morning, dude. I was getting my car all packed or cleaned out because I'm getting ready to pack everything up to go do my road trip out to Area 51 tomorrow. I'm headed out, so probably won't have more than maybe like one video where it'll probably be me on the road just talking about whatever's going on in the news tomorrow. Maybe just talking about price if this price action keeps up, right? XRP Florida, moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen, moon them up. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I didn't get what you were saying for a second there. I thought you were talking about moon, that you liked the fact that we're mooning, but you know, this isn't really moon yet. But 29.1. That was a jump. Okay, guys, there's something going on here. Let's hop into the hourly. Have a look here. I don't think that oh yeah, we're probably going back. We're gonna test probably the 33 cent range just because of this. What this is doing right now. Okay, guys, just start selling because I want to buy a dip. Okay, can we create a dip artificially? Everybody just dump our XRP. We'll create a dip. I'm not actually advocating that anybody sell their XRP right now. All right, but damn, I really would enjoy a nice little dip here. Last time before we never see these lows. Oops. Again, IMO. Once it crosses $1, it won't come back down. I agree, Ronald. if this is the beginning of a pump up to $1, it won't stop. It'll go to $1, and then we'll be back at $4 so fast it's going to make all of our heads spin, and then we're all going to be sitting there looking at the a-holes who, you know, kept us just skeptical enough to not really just like go into massive debt to buy XRP at the 25-cent range. You know, we're going to be looking at them like, well, I'm still better off than you because I held a bag, right? But oh man, I'm gonna have to mute the Telegram. No offense to everybody out in the Telegram group, I love y'all, but actually I'm gonna post that we are live for them. Where's my hopper? All right, doing a live stream. Wait, hope that's right. And I'm gonna mute this real quick here, and we'll disable notifications. We'll just be on for probably about an hour, so that'll be long enough to mute it. Nice. My 5-year-old son Gabe is watching and wants me to tell you he said hello. Well, hello to Gabe. Ronald, it's here. You're the one whose son I'm following on YouTube. Who started the gaming channel, right? Where he streams Fortnite and whatnot. I'm correct, right, Ronald? You are that same Ronald, right? That's why you're mod, right? I'm sorry, it's been a minute since I've streamed and actually connected with everybody, so I'm pretty certain that's you though, right? What do you think is driving the price all of a sudden? I don't know. I really don't know, honestly, what's going on, the AF guy. I do know that we do have a rather strong, you know, I have a strong inkling this might be the beginning of MoneyGram, maybe, because these volumes are kind of extraordinary, right? Like, even on the hourly, those green candles, I know it's probably hard to see for anybody, especially if you're on your phone, but the green candles that we're seeing right now are kind of bizarre, even for, like, you know, on the hourly. And then when you get into the daily here, where are we at? Yeah, we've got... That's a pretty strong reversal, like green candle, since we're gaining volume. So I don't know. It seems, I know that we also have seen the Mexican peso, like the volume for XRP against the Mexican peso has been going all through the roof. It absolutely, Darren, it absolutely could be a bull trap. But you know, typically bull traps occur in bull markets. You know, at the end of a bull market, not, you know, 19 months into a bear trend, you know. This, if anything, this is just going to be a flatliner, the way that I see it. Plus, bull traps are reactionary moves, right? Like, it's not a result of, you know, a sudden pump like this. A bull trap is something like this guy right here, right? That is created, or even on a better example of a bull trap actually would be back here, right, where we went from our peak and we came down and then we caught a leg up from the dump. So the bull traps are typically created as a result of people thinking, oh, it's oversold, so they buy in, and then you get, that's the people who buy here are the ones buying a bull trap. But I want to technically consider what we're seeing a bull trap, even if it does collapse. It's just, you know, it's just a failed run, because it's, you know, the price has been flat for almost a month, right? We collapsed on the 14th of August. It's the 17th of September, so just basically over a month we've been flat. Brad Garlinghouse went on CNN like days ago, though, right? So I highly doubt that it's that. GRB Investment Solution, the Fed's meeting, and we should have a decision on if they will cut interest rates. Cutting rates is good for crypto, bad for the dollar. Absolutely. And I can almost guarantee, based upon what we're seeing happening around the world, and the way that the European Central Bank has validated Trump's, you know, assertion that the Fed needs to stop being a bunch of boneheads and cut the rates, You know, not to be political at all, but you know, fiscally speaking, it's going to happen because our economy, the global economy as a whole, but the American economy too, is in between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, Gabe has tons of Fortnite vids and made a vid XRP the standard. That's awesome, Ronald. That's so cool, dude. Go to the moon. Let's do it. Oprah Winfrey. XRP for you. You get some XRP. You get some XRP. XRP for everybody. I'm pumped. I'm pumping about as much as this price this morning, y'all. It's good. It's fun stuff. You know, it's ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Tofu if you're vegan. You know, I am definitely vegetarian. Not even. I'm pescatarian more than anything. Like, I still eat chicken. I still eat fish, and I still cheat and eat beef all the time. But I try not to. I try not to eat any road meats anymore. You know, rather keep my heart good. Now that I'm actually starting to get older, you gotta start monitoring the things you put into your body, unless you want to, you know, cut years off the life, right? So many speculations. No one knows for sure. Everything coming soon, I guess. U.S. Binance back, Brexit, so many factors. XRP is the standard, that's for sure. Chit towns, most wanted. I completely agree, dude. It's hard, you know. I can't tell you guys one way or the other what's actually causing the pump. You know, I mean, if this were July 31st, I'd be like, hey, it's SBI, you know. But no, XRP doesn't react to fundamentals. XRP, you know, the XRP masses, you know, the majority of our community. Not saying anybody in the chat or whatever, but the majority of the community refuses to acknowledge news and like put their money down on news because we're in a bear market. You know, it's purely emotional based. But because we don't, that's why the price, you know, doesn't react to these major fundamental announcements, because nobody puts their money behind it. And then when we get to that point, everybody's like, oh, well, it was already priced into the market, and that's why we have a sell-off. But we don't ever get these major announcements priced in the market because nobody takes them serious in the first place. And then when the event actually comes to pass, everybody's all surprised that it didn't pump, when really, you know, nobody reacted to the news in the first place to cause the initial hype for the speculation. That's why I laugh at people when they get on, you know, anybody that's bullish's case for spreading hype, because like y'all do know that hype is literally how you get from a bear trend, because hype is hope. You know, it's hope that there's going to be some event occurring in the future that brings the price up. Well, if you don't have hope in a market, guess what? All you're going to be is depressed. And when you're depressed, that means the price is going to be suppressed, right? My man Shaggy with the news, cool cat beats. I get that a lot. Yeah. That's what. Did you see any of the videos with Scooby-Doo when I was back up home with my family? You know, running out there with Scooby-Doo out through the woods. That was fun. I miss him already. He's a good boy. Good beastie boy. How's it going, what was that XRP for? XRP is like that girl in high school who returns to homeroom after summer vacation and is all of a sudden a hot chick that everyone... Oh, man. I miss those simpler days of where the only thing I had to worry about was, you know, not failing. Because who cared about A's, you know? A's were for overachievers who wanted to be people pleasers. I just got C's because C's got degrees, right? I'd rather spend all my time sitting there studying and learning things that I care about, not what a school system wanted me to. But stay in school. Gabe, I know you're watching, so, you know, take school seriously, because I didn't get into Stanford or Harvard or Yale because my poor mindset prevented me from investing in my own future in that way, right? I kind of wish that I would have focused more so on what other people cared about when I was younger. Maybe I'd be a little bit further ahead. But now we got XRP, so cheers. We'll all be fabulously wealthy regardless. XRP Angel Connie, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. How you doing today? All right, let's see here. I'm gonna hop back into the hourly. to see if this is slowing yet, right? Our volume is picking up again. So we had that big wick here, that big candle right here, that seems to be what really broke a technical range. I guess it would have had to have broken technical range for the way that it played. Where did it peak out? Okay, so this was the reason that we got that correction and that slowdown was because of this guy right here. This previous peak that we had at 27 and 8, where we tapped out before on our run down here. So I think that's why we rejected so hard off there, and then we saw this bearish volume come in. Now we're pushing up to, we pushed up to 29.5, which is not even, there's not even a, I wouldn't even say that there's actually a resistance range here, like even a horizontal resistance range. Maybe maybe the algorithms are basing it off of this low. No, because that was low back there. So yeah, I don't know what's causing. Oh, let me just set it with that, and we'll see what it lines up with. Okay, yeah. So there's not any reason for it to stop here where we're at right now. I think that maybe we'll come up and test this range, test the bottom of this valley at 30 cent. We'll see what happens there, because there's really nothing that should stop us on a technical basis from just running up to 30 from here. And if we break 30, I'm gonna lose my crap, because 30 means that nobody's probably gonna be getting an entry at least for a few months below a price of 25 cents, because we set a pretty decent bottom here. We're making a nice cup or a nice bowl shaped formation now that the price is running up here. So this could easily be a nice range of support at 25 cents now. Even 25.5 really, because of where the majority of the consolidation occurred, right about here, right? So I could easily see us having a consolidation after this run up, maybe back down to 25.5, if it doesn't break 30 cents, right? And then if it doesn't break 30 cents, I'd say that there's probably a better chance of it not only coming down 25, but trying to retest this like lower range back in the 22 to 23 cent range down in here. But I don't know. I feel like I was calling that we were going to hit 20 cents all the way back in July. If SBI didn't go live, obviously I was saying that we should hit a price down below 25 cents to 20 cents. That was like, I really wanted to see a 20 cent price drop, or a drop to 20 cents, but we got this 22 cent here, and a few exchanges dropped lower, but it wasn't as long-lived as I'd hoped. I was hoping for us to just flatline, but it didn't happen now. Yeah, 29 plus now. 29 plus, at least on a Bitstamp. I don't know about other exchanges. I like Bitstamp because it's usually a more like controlled volume compared to the popular exchanges that just kind of go FOMO crazy whenever price moves one way or the other, right? So let's see what Binance is. Let's see what Binance is looking like. Or Kraken even. Kraken, same range. Went up to just over 29.5 cents. Binance is same range again. And why did I have this support? What was this running from? Because that's actually kind of interesting that oh, okay. So the price has now moved back above what was our long-term support. So a lot of people thought that we were going to see some really bearish action because we dropped below what was like our support from the very beginning, like the very early days back on like August of 2018, right? So over a year we had this red support trend, and that's actually why I had that drawn, because when we tickled below it here back in July, that was what like kind of made me feel like we were going to have a drop to 20 cent and then probably flatline. But now we're seeing the price try to stay above this, and it's staying above it right now. We need a close above this long-term trend line, this it's almost a over a year long, a yearly support trend. If this doesn't become resistance, then it's gonna become support again, right? Yes, somebody accidentally hit the switch, no doubt, probably. I'd ascribe to that, right? If they hit the switch already, I'm actually gonna be really disappointed in myself because I didn't. I'm still not even at my my range, the amount of XRP that I wanted to have before we got our run up. I really wanted to have a minimum of 20,000 XRP, but before we run up past $1 again. But we'll see. We'll see. Listen, Martian Reporter. Students become bosses. C students become bosses, while A students become employees for C students. That's usually how it works, Paul Blanken. But you know, not in my example. I'm definitely an employee. I'm an employee of you and all the rest of the people out here in the chat supporting me and bringing you the digital news about our future wealth, right? So yeah, but I've been a employee my whole life, so I'll believe it when I become the boss, right? Until then, it's just a correlation, not causation. Article out saying some BTC jumping to XRP as BTC may not be a safe haven and are trying it into the drone attack. Tying it into a drone attack? What drone attack? Oh, is that what Trump was referring to in regards to a attack that he's blaming Iran for, a drone attack? Is that what it was? I haven't actually followed the fear-mongering nonsense about war because I don't believe that there's such a thing as as an unintentional, unplanned war. You know, I believe that they're all just, you know, I mean, Iran is a rogue state, technically speaking. So, I mean, I guess I could see something erupting, but I think it's all just meant to keep people afraid that we're going to have a nuclear war. That way, you know, the idea is you keep the masses paralyzed in fear so that they don't actually look ahead to the potential of having a future. And when you have the masses under the mindset that they don't have a future, they won't invest in their future. Okay, so it was a drone attack on an oil refinery. Really? Interesting. So is oil up? Is that I mean, I wouldn't expect it to really go up unless it was just going up because people are... Oh my... What is that? What? Do you see this? I gotta put a background because it's so dark. Let me... What? Alright, so... What? No. You get sent to back. Hold on a second here. Why will you not let me send this to the back? There we go. Send to back. Alright. Look at that wick! Look at that! The Barclays Bank... so like, I think there's just an oil index, but... Its index ran from 1120 all the way up to 58 and then all the way back down. Who did that? Who, like, we talk about crypto being manipulated. Like, what? What? Volatility? What? I don't think that Bitcoin can brag about that kind of volatility. What the hell? That's crazy. That's some crazy nonsense. Alright. XRP BTC pair. Let's see what that looks like. Because somebody was saying that we might be seeing people flee from Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe because it does look comparable, right? And these are no longer my fibs here are not reliable for anybody that's actually watching the chart. I just want to have it so that I can have visible price movements here. I don't know. I mean, I would be more prone to say that the reason people are coming from Bitcoin into XRP is simply because of how oversold XRP is against Bitcoin. But yeah, not sure. CKJ Cellmate's in here. Where you at, dude? Good morning to you as well, my friend. How you doing today? All right. This chat really seems to be very, very giddy. Oh, I'm giddy. Aren't you giddy? I think there's all... whenever we have positive price action, I think that's time to get giddy. Because we don't get a lot of days like this in the market. At least not over the last few years. So, whenever we get positive days, it's good to enjoy the positivity. Might be some Shane Ellis theory at work. You know what, Rissus? It's not because of us, I don't think. I hope not. If so, guys, I told you we're not a pump and dump group over at the Dollar Cost Average Telegram. We're a dump buying group, right? You're not supposed to be fueling into the FOMO. You're supposed to be playing the contrarian who buys the dips. Come on now. I've explained this. Yeah, though I do believe Shane Ellis' theory is absolutely correct, because when it comes to the actual trading price, the trading price is going to be whatever the exchanges say it is. And if there's not enough XRP on the exchanges to provide liquidity in the low price range, well, it's going to be priced at higher. It's just like, while you can assume that there will be people who, as the price goes up, they're going to move their funds onto an exchange, by that time it's already too late, about the previous chart. Oh. Yeah, that's actually a good example too. That's actually a great example, the fact that we can see that kind of volatility in traditional markets. I wouldn't doubt that that's exactly what occurred. There was a shortage of bonds available, and then once the market realized something was wrong, it just smashed it. So that kind of shows, though, that Shane Ellis' theory can go both ways. If you have a massive run up and nobody's setting buy orders during the run up, then it's just going to fall through, right? We're a dollar cost average group to buy low and help increase the price. Absolutely, that's the point, right? We don't want to see the price skyrocket. I mean, we all want the price to skyrocket at the end of the day, but we don't want to be the one who's buying as it skyrockets. We want to just wait for it to go up, and then as it corrects, we can set price ranges as it's going down and be like, okay, 20% chance that it goes up from here, 80% chance it goes down. Take your bet, right? Is it going to go up or down? And then just keep doing it. Like, that's how I normally determine, whether or not I want to invest or whatnot. Depending on how bullish I feel towards a scenario, I use the Fibonacci ranges as percentile chances that the price is going to continue in one direction or another, right? So we'll go, and I'll just draw this guy here, and hopefully it won't be too confusing. So where we're at right now, I'd say that if we come down to the 28 cent here, which would be the 0.78 on the fib, then I'd say, okay, there's an 80% chance that if we hit this, we're going to go down below. And there's only a 20% chance then of us bouncing up. So I'm probably going to hold off, wait for us to touch the 6-1. And then I'm going to be like, okay, well, now there's a 38% chance that we're going to go up, and a 62% chance we're going to go down. So maybe I'm a little bit bullish, so I'm going to buy here at the 618, right? Or I'm going to be like, nah, it's coming down, so I'm going to buy at the 0.5 because I'm a bull, and I always buy at the 0.5. At least a little bit. What's up, Heaven Beatbox? I appreciate your appreciation of my stream, sir. And yeah, it's impossible to analyze what's really going on, to really know what is causing these things, because we all know that the price does not react to fundamentals. It just doesn't. The only fundamental the price reacts to is FUD, And that's not really fundamental, it's just FUD, right? It's the only thing that has a real world impact on price. So I don't know what's going on. I didn't even see any announcements on the news today either that we have like something going on here. Let me do a quick Google search and I'll find out. And what do we got for the last 24 hours here? It should even be sooner than the last 24 hours for something going on. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. There's no announcement that should be driving this. Only thing that I'm seeing is a bunch of articles now popping up within the last few hours that the price is pumping. So I'm sure the bears are on their way to make it so that we have an entry sooner or later. Come on, bears. Stop being lazy. Dump this. End this bull run, bears, because I don't want it to turn into a bull run yet. I don't really care either way, to be honest. Like I'm like at this point where like I'll be happy if it goes up to $1 plus, and I'll be happy if it gives me a 20-cent entry, right? Like I feel I'm just confident and comfortable in the long-term future enough so that I don't care one way or the other where the price goes over the next day or whatever. But you know, I'd still like an entry. I just want another low entry. That's all. What's the community going to be like when we hit $4? I don't know, right? I mean, I would hope that we're going to be, you know, dealing with a bunch of greenhorns coming in for us to have to reiterate all the FUD is FUD and all the fundamentals are fundamentals, you know. But I don't know what the community will look like at that point. I will personally be a far more comfortable and happy individual. I might choose not to live in my car if we hit $4 in the near future. I'll be like, well, you know, I can afford the luxury of an apartment, and then keep hodling on. I'm buying till it reaches 50, J Rizzy. Yeah, I intend to continue to buy XRP actually until it hits $10. Just because of how new paradigms work when you like we've been in a elongated bear market. So I feel like any price below the previous all-time high is in practice will be a good entry price. No matter what, no matter how conservative the next bull run is, right? Because in a new bull run that should last at least a year, you know, of rather continual steady gains, where we aren't going to see more than a 30 to 40% price correction, like over weeks. My greenhorn Martians, hell yeah. But my belief is that, you know, when we go on to this next bull run, we're going to see the price, like, I'm not going to be worried about taking profits until we're above $10, or at least tag $10, right? Maybe like I might get cold hands. There's a chance I'll get cold hands and I'll take a small little profit around $8, because that would be basically double what we were at for our previous peak. But at the same time, you know, we have so much positive fundamental developments for the XRP ecosystem over the last year that, I mean, I can't see it stopping at 10, especially if it goes up to 10. Like, to me, when we see that kind of run, it's going to be dang near impossible for me to sell, because all I'm going to be envisioning is 3-figure XRP price and the fact that Jade suddenly becomes a millionaire, you know, multi-millionaire. So like, I don't know. And then $1,000, you know, it's not far-fetched, J-owned. If you think $1,000 is far-fetched, you don't understand that you're investing in a money supply and not, you know, a security or whatever you're imagining that you're investing in, that the market cap actually matters. Money doesn't care about market cap. Market cap is completely irrelevant to where a value of a currency can go. I mean, keep in mind, you're saying that XRP can't hit a price point because of its price compared to another currency, right? We're talking about currencies. So at the end of the day, when the dollar hyperinflates, one XRP will be worth $1 million for all we know before they delist the dollar, right? Like, we don't know how high the price is going to go before the Federal Reserve kicks the greenback out of circulation. And if you watch my most recent video, that's coming sooner rather than later. The Federal Reserve is already planning for introducing a CBDC, which, as everybody in the XRP community knows, CBDCs have been being promoted to the financial institutions, to the central banks, by Ripple. And so why would Ripple be promoting CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, to central banks if it wasn't to the benefit of the Ripple ecosystem, aka the XRP ecosystem, right? There's movements being made that a lot of people would rather pretend are irrelevant to what's coming for XRP, but when you actually look at who is advertising that something be adopted, historically, and then who is adopting that thing that Ripple was advertising to be adopted, and then realize how those central bank digital currencies are going to be are being developed for the purpose of plugging in to an internationally decentralized ecosystem who utilizes a supranational currency such as XRP. Won't say that it is. We don't know with absolute certainty, but it's probably XRP. They're going to use, at any rate, a supranational digital currency to liquidate and back their national currencies. And the reason they're going to do this is because it goes into the Triffin's dilemma. For those of you who aren't aware, Triffin's dilemma emerges as a result of a nation possessing the global reserve currency, its national currency being the global reserve currency. And the reason that there is a paradox is because a nation's short-term benefit comes from a lower valued currency compared to a reserve currency, which the long-term need for that long-term currency is to have a higher value to facilitate liquidity, right? That's why we have this horrible economic situation that has everybody in the world on edge, not knowing whether or not we're going to have total collapse of our economy, of the global economy. So yeah, it's a really complex situation, and I totally get that there's skepticism about which way it's going to go if XRP is going to be the one that's integrated, because we don't have absolute confirmation from anyone in government that that's what they're going to use as the liquidity source. But when you look at who these financial institutions continue to meet with on a regular basis, who they are continuing to invite to their private closed-door central bank conferences, it's like Ripple's the only name in town. There's no Anthony Pompliano is not being invited to central banker meetings, right? You're not seeing Tone Vase talking to Christine Lagarde or anybody at the IMF. So the notion or narrative that Bitcoiners have that banks are going to adopt Bitcoin as their store of liquidity, it's just, that's more of a stretch than saying XRP. So, but yeah, the reality is there's no such thing as reasonable J-own, because this is an unprecedented global development. Never in the history of humanity has a decentralized, supranational currency that no nation could destroy come into existence. We're witnessing the first This is the first time anything like this has ever happened. So for anybody to claim where the ranges are, it's just, it's asinine. That's why I keep making higher and higher price prediction videos. I will eventually have a price prediction video that says $100,000 XRP. And it's going to trigger a lot of people. And a lot of people are going to call me an idiot or a moron, say I'm just blowing smoke, that I'm a hyper or whatever. But the reality is, you have a fixed supply currency, we call it XRP, right? And you have a inflatable, debasable currency called the US dollar. And the dollar is already on course to hyperinflation. That's why we went from having less than $1 trillion in circulation in 2008 to $20 trillion in circulation in 2018. So over the course of a decade, the number of dollars in circulation has increased over 20-fold. And so there's just, it's like, it's asinine for anybody to say where the price is going to cap out, because we don't know when the Fed is going to say, okay, we're done printing dollars. This dollar is useless. It's worthless. So we're going to change over to a new system, right? And so at whatever point in the future, the Federal Reserve says we're done with dollars, well, that day, I promise that every cryptocurrency is going to be worth infinite dollars. I could make a video saying that XRP is going to be worth $563 trillion per one XRP, and I wouldn't be wrong, because that's what hyperinflation is. It's the elimination of a currency out of circulation because it's been completely devalued to zero, right? If I have a dollar, a single dollar, and somebody's trying to sell dirt for 0 pennies, well, guess what? I get to buy all their dirt, all of it, instantly. They're not gonna. I don't even have to give them the dollar, and I'm gonna get all their dirt because it's $0 for their dirt, right? That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be comparing XRP is the dollar and the dirt is the US dollar in that situation. So we don't know. The speculation that it can't hit $10,000 based upon the current, or $1,000 rather, based upon current price of the current valuation of the dollar. Yeah, absolutely, it can't. Because the dollar is still being utilized. It still has a lot of its value from being used as the global reserve currency to facilitate the transaction of liquidity between other currencies around the world. So as long as the dollar is being used for that, yeah, it's obvious that no other currency is going to be able to gain that kind of valuation against the dollar. But that's a finite time frame. I mean, we just had Jerome Powell saying, I don't know when the video was, or when the interview was. I think it was earlier this month, or just recently, because I hadn't seen it before yesterday. But Jerome Powell just recently came out saying that, the United States has been the global reserve currency for 98 years. And before that, it was the British pound. Well, when the British pound was removed as the global reserve currency, guess what? It lost a lot of its value because it lost a lot of its utility. And so that utility value was stripped away from the British pound and given to the US dollar. For all intents and purposes. I know it worked a little bit different because we went from the British pound to the dollar while there was a gold standard, but ultimately the network value, the utility value did move, even though the intrinsic value of it being pegged to the dollar didn't. Let's see here. I got a good tangent, so let's see. We seen what Amazon was capable of, and this is far, far bigger in numerology. Absolutely, Carl. Absolutely. And that's something else people don't keep in mind is look at what happened during the internet tech boom. And look at what happened with Amazon, right? It peaked. Actually, I'll just pull up Amazon. And we'll look back. We'll go in the time capsule back to, the early 2000s here. And and I'll just emphasize this point, right? So back in 1999 to 2000, Amazon capped out at about $109. $109 per share. And everybody back then was saying, this is stupid. It's an interwebs company, not the internet, because the mainstream media wanted to make it sound absurd. This is an interwebs company that doesn't even have physical locations. How can it be worth $100-some? And they said it long enough that the price came down because they spooked all the morons in retail who have no concept of business. And guess what? The price dropped over 90%. It came down to $5.40 here. That means that Amazon tanked more than 95%. Do you think anybody... consider how people felt that invested, back when Amazon was worth $50 a share in 2000, middle of 2000, and then watch their value drop down to $5. That every $50 they put, only $5. So they put $1,000. Well, guess what? Now they only got $100 out of the $1,000 they put in. I bet they felt real dumb, except for the ones who realized what Amazon was doing and were confident in Amazon's business model and said, no, I'm going to buy that dip, right? I'm going to buy that dip at $5. And guess what? That dude that bought at $5, his $5 turned into over $1,000, right? Almost $2,000 now. Over $2,000 now, because we're over, we went over $2,000 a share for $5. That means that Amazon, a company, after its .com bubble, returned traders, what would that be? A 10, 100, a 200-fold increase nearly in their investment. 200x from Amazon, a company. And we're talking about currency. People don't understand how much value there is in the world. Things are... When this ecosystem takes over the world, it's going to make my head spin. And I'm probably like one of the most bullish people that you'll probably meet when it comes to XRP and its future, because I've seen enough in my mind, right? Like, I've seen enough evidence in my mind that I'm convinced that in the long term, no other digital asset is going to outperform XRP, because Ripple Labs and R3 are doing everything right. They're doing everything right to ensure that it achieves global adoption. Meanwhile, Bitcoin community can't, get their heads out their butt and keep forking their network every 3 to 6 months. You think that's like, keep in mind the difference in mentality here, right? One of these groups can't even agree with themselves, so they keep splitting their network and ruining the total value of their network. And nobody wants to touch it outside of the speculative market. Only speculators want to touch Bitcoin because, oh boy, there might be a bunch of lemmings out there who make me rich because it goes on back. Right? Like, that's the only value of Bitcoin is speculation. XRP, its value is coming from the fact that instead of fighting amongst itself and with everybody in the world saying, we're going to replace the banks, they're saying, we're going to work together. We want to grow a network effect. We want to create the largest network possible for our ecosystem to grow, to mature in. Because Ripple and its employees are actually adults, right? Not a bunch of 16 to 50 or 25-year-olds who are completely ego-driven, thinking that they're a part of a revolution that's going to overthrow the status quo. And what happens when you overthrow the status quo? Oh, you have a total economic collapse. That's right. So these people in Bitcoin think that we're about to be having the entire world enter into a global depression where 80 to 90% of people die of starvation because guess what? If Bitcoin wins and it doesn't work with the entrenched establishment, well, there's not going to be any entrenched established there's not going to be a Walmart, with food in its produce section for you to go buy, because they stuck to the dollar when it hyperinflated and they went out of business. So people need to check themselves and realize how the real world things are going to play out. Paul, that's a great point. BTC is the beta version and XRP is the first generation of a cashless society. Exactly right. It's like WC3, right? The WWW. Where's WWW come from? It's from the WC3 the WWW company, the World Wide Web company. W3C was the original. It was the prototype of the internet, essentially. And it was replaced by Netscape. Netscape integrated. And then we got, where we're at now. And you can do it with Facebook, right? Before Facebook, there was MySpace, and MySpace wasn't the prototype, right? A lot of people don't keep that in mind, that the prototype for Facebook was a website back in 1999 called Friendster. Friendster. Are you on Friendster? Is anybody out here using Friendster? Who's got a Friendster account? I'll add you. Oh, wait, no, I won't, because I don't even have a Friendster myself. But, if you have a Friendster, good on you for holding that Friendster account for years. I'm sure it's paid off just as much as Bitcoin will pay off in the next decade, right? I mean, to be clear, I hold Bitcoin because I feel that it's going to be a collector's item and it's going to mature in value still. It'll probably hold a relatively decent valuation for decades to come, but I just don't see the same returns in Bitcoin's long-term future as I can see in XRP. And we obviously all get attacked by XRP fraudsters and whatnot, saying that, it's going, it's just going to keep going down forever. But it's like, it can't go down forever, especially with the adoption that it's seeing, right? I mean, for all we know, this isn't even us doing this. For all any of us in this chat know, this is MoneyGram, a single company, just one. We don't know though, but it absolutely could be. And if this is just from one company, a 9-10% pump, what happens when we have two companies that are integrating their service? Because this isn't all of MoneyGram. If this is MoneyGram, it's definitely not all their value. It's not even close to all of their volume, right? So if this is MoneyGram, it's just going to continue to compound. Then we add another company. Well, guess what? They're integrating their services. MoneyGram's continuing to integrate theirs. And so both of them are going to compound together, meaning our price is going to go up twice as fast. Add two more companies. Now we only got 4 companies on XRapid, right? Same thing, twice as fast. There's a few thousand banks out there. Add all them in, right? That's what people don't understand about how, a lot of people want to base where the price is going to go in the next bull run based upon how the price has moved within a bear market. That's like saying that, I know what an orange tastes like because I've eaten an apple and they're both fruits. No, you're a fruit for thinking that, right? Like, if you're comparing apples to oranges when you try to assume where the price is going to go based upon the price is going to go in a bull market based upon where the price has gone in a bear market. It's just, you can't use the same methods of price, estimates in those two models. They just don't work. Let's all chant XRP, XRP, indeed, digital asset universe. I'd love to see the whole ecosystem thrive, right? Like if Bitcoin and XRP go up, guess what? I do better than if just XRP go up because I've got money in both. And if the few altcoins like INS that I hold, if they go up too, I'm gonna do even better, right? But right now, my only real trust is in XRP, right? I hold Bitcoin as a hedge. I hold INS because, well, I bought $500 worth of this thing that's worth $25, so why bother selling it, right? If it returns, it returns, and maybe I'll get my 500 back. If not, I'm not gonna take out just $25 when I spent $500 on that coin. You know, it can just stay there for all eternity for all I care. Let it become worth zero just because the network dies for all I care. But I'm not going to sell that. But with XRP, you know, I can't not buy enough of this, and it's the only one. Like I, as many of you who have been here for a while, I've watched nothing but XRP's price slowly and steadily decline since I got into it. But my disposition towards it hasn't become bearish. I just get more bullish every time the price goes lower because I see what Ripple Labs and R3 are building. I see the connections they're making. And I understand that when it comes to adoption of something, it's more important to have Walmart and Amazon adopt your currency, adopt your money system, than it is to have a retail investor adopt it. Do you know why? Because if every retail individual in the world, you, me, you know, everybody that you know that's not a CEO or an executive at a company, adopts Bitcoin, guess what? You can't spend it until the CEO of Amazon, the CEO of Walmart says, yeah, we'll accept that as currency. So until they accept it, it doesn't matter how much it trades for, you're not going to spend it. XRP is going the other route. They're saying, we're going to target everybody out there who, you know, accepts these, who is supplying consumer products with our currency, so that whenever the time comes that we get retail investors interested in our currency, they'll be able to spend it as they please. And therefore, they're not going to sell their position into another currency, thus devaluing their currency, devaluing XRP. No, XRP is just going to remain a system that continues to absorb more wealth over time because people are spending it like money instead of selling it like a share in a company. So, Human Tripod, thank you so much for the 2 bones. One more bag, Lil Tommy's X-Bucks got to go again. Well, you know, I'm sure Tommy will appreciate it whenever we hit Moon, right? And Jason Geo2, thank you so much for the 5 bones, my brother. You were the first donation of the day, so thank you so much. I was going on that tirade, so just want to make sure I get you both shout out. Thank you guys so much for your support. I love this community. Y'all are so awesome. Thank you so much for helping me continue to just, you know, rant, tangent, share my views on where we're going, you know. I could be wrong. I admit that, but I don't think I am. I believe deep down that this ecosystem is going to be highly successful and that we're all going to benefit. We just have to be patient. And, you know, if the good Lord allows us to see a price dip and get an entry at a lower price, you know, we just have to capitalize on it and be thankful that, you know, we got an opportunity to have an even greater multiplier when the moon does come, right? Let's see. I'm in VeChain also, but most use case in my opinion. Oh, XRP has the most use case. It's amazing. I ignore all the FUD. Digital Asset Universe, I don't ever ignore the FUD, but I definitely always try to debunk it, right? Because that's all that we because I don't want to be like, I get that most FUD is just FUD, all right? So it's pointless nonsense garbage. But I still pay attention to it because I don't want to get caught blindsided by something that comes out, some bad news that comes out that's actually real, right? So I don't like the FUD, but I still pay attention to it. Ronald with the 199, I believe we have an altcoin bull run starting. Is CoinMarketCap blowing up? Let's see. Oh my. You know, it is a green day for altcoins, and Bitcoin is sitting pretty flat. I think Bitcoin dominance is down at least 0.7%. So maybe, yeah, we're seeing a downturn Bitcoin's um in Bitcoin's dominance. So this absolutely could be an alt season, as long as we don't see, Bitcoin's as long as we see Bitcoin's price stay flat. I think that you are probably right, Ron. Absolutely, dude. Good call. I haven't really, it really looks like XRP is the one that's like fueling this too, right? Like I'm not seeing. Let's see what we have. Who has a higher percentage return? Okay, the 70-second coin ABBC is the only coin right now with a better return than XRP right now. Yeah, that's pretty bullish. That's pretty good news, right? I like that. That's good stuff. Use case to supply or ratio. Those say the supply is too high do not get to use case. Yep, Carl, I agree. I think that a lot of people need to really keep in mind why XRP has such a large supply and how most of that supply, there's a very, very high probability that at least 40% of the supply is not going to enter the market for anywhere in the near future. Like I think that about again, I ascribe to Brad Keim's pre-allocation theory, so I believe that the majority of what Ripple maintains of the remaining XRP and escrow, I expect most of it is going to be reserved for future potential economic recessions where they need that liquidity to be able to bail out the economy during a future bust cycle that occurs during the digital asset, during digital assets reign as our primary currency, our primary form of liquidity. I know, that's beautiful, right? 12.57. This is crazy. This is crazy. Though we are getting a pretty strong wick right now on the hourly. And we're at the last minute here, so this might be about where we peak for a while by the looks of it. We'll see. It could just be a consolidation, kind of like what we had right here. We'll see. But that's a pretty sharp recurve there from where we went. What percentage is that? We're where? Oh, right, yardstick. It's been a minute since I actually was looking at prices, so that was a 3% correction almost so far. After what was it, so we had that's basically a 33% correction of the amount that we ran up from that last little dip here, right? Since we went up about 9.5%, the fact that this dipped down from that 9% gain down about almost 3%, yeah, that's about a 30% correction. It's forming a bearish spinning top as yeah, it does seem like this could be a peak. So we might be getting ready to see like something like this. Right? And then we'll see if we can break out. But we're probably going to have the price correct down in the 27-cent range. Just I'd really if it's bullish scenario, then what we're going to see is it obviously come down. It's going to test around just a little bit higher, basically off the previous high that we resisted on before this run, right? So basing it off of this candle right here. And that actually kind of lines up with the first low run up here, right? Before we actually just like went boom. So yeah, that might be one of these kind of things we're going to see here. When do we exit? Never, because I'm not a trader. I'm here until XRP is a currency. I'm only going to be reducing my risk in the future with XRP. I will never dump my bag ever. I like think about how think about why Jeff Bezos is as rich as he is. His money is almost entirely in Amazon stock. Amazon's at $2,000 per share. Yet Jeff Bezos, the majority of all of Jeff Bezos' wealth, is still in Amazon. Think like the richest man in the world. Only cash out what you need. And that man's only cashing out what he needs off of a stock. We're talking about new money that you can just go and spend when it's actually, once it's adopted and it achieves its success model. Yeah, like the only reason that anybody should even think about selling out of this market, because it's so nascent, right? It's so young. The only reason that you should ever sell out is if you need it for medical reasons or to ensure that you don't lose your kids or something like that. Like, this is a long-term investment. We're still very early to this. So, it's going to be months, years. It could be up to 5 years for all anybody knows. Maybe longer. I think we're closer to 5 or to 3 years than 5 years to maturity, but there's no reason to sell when you're getting entry prices at this kind of a range in a nascent market, in a market that is about to take over the whole global economy. And that's not me speaking. That's Mark Carney. That's Christine Lagarde. That's the people who actually say what money you use, right? This isn't my crazy opinion. This is the crazy opinion of the people who control all the money that currently exists, the fiat money. So, we have to keep that in mind whenever we're skeptical about where things are going. Keep in mind who's out there saying that the dollar is going away. It's the people whose life has been made luxurious because of the dollar, right? Not you or me out here, average Joe or Schmo, who have had their value completely debased by that same dollar, right? So if anybody has a reason to pretend that the market's just going to that the dollar's just going to keep living forever, it's the people that are saying that it's going away. Like, you guys get what I'm saying there? Hopefully y'all are getting that. Y'all hear the message? Ron, hold until 100 XRP can make a person rich as hell. And then keep holding. Cash out what you put in and let the rest be house money. Yep. Exactly. And that's a really good advice too, honestly, in my opinion. None of us are investment, advisors, but when it comes to like cashing out what you've put in the market, I agree, because it makes it a lot easier to hold no matter what the price does. You're like, well, I was worth 10 million today or yesterday, but only worth 5 million today. Oh well, it's all house money anyways. It's all their money that I'm living on right now. Oh well, I guess I'll wait to see if my 5 million turns back into 10. If not, I got 5 million still, right? What's up, Birdie? How's it going? Welcome to the chat. 2018 was time to sell. Absolutely, Steven. If you didn't sell in January of 2018, why are you talking about selling now? You missed the boat. Time to wait for the next one. Weekly chart showing we can be visiting 50 cents. Weekly, huh? Let's see. Where did we close last week? I feel like 40... Oh, I'm looking at XRP to BTC, that's why. Back to Bitstamp here. I don't know. I won't say that we can't revisit 50 cents in the near future, because really we don't have any resistance trend. Like there's no trend. There's no trend. The only trend that maybe I could consider this trend. Maybe that's a trend, right? maybe that's a trending resistance right here. And so maybe we hit like 44 cents. You know, we might just continue the channel. Let me get rid of all these irrelevant ranges here. Get rid of all these dang lines that don't need to be here, since we're looking at a larger chart. Alright. So, I mean, I'd say that we're probably gonna, we could see the price continue to play within this range here. But at the same time, eventually, this support that I have here is going to break, and the price is going to push sideways through it or fall through it, because that's an unsustainable trend line, in my opinion. Like, that would be, well, I guess maybe not. I don't know. I'm so conservative with TA projections I do for any, like, you know, daily, weekly moves. I don't believe that y'all can buy the price up, okay? I just don't believe that there's enough of us out there compared to those who are selling that we can outweigh the sellers, all right? I think that, you know, we're just going to be stuck in this, you know, consolidation pattern until institutional investors come in. And nobody knows when that's going to be. So, you know, I'm convinced they're coming. I just don't know when. You know what I mean? Much appreciated for the love out. I'm the Muffin Man. You're my favorite Muffin Man. So, much appreciation. Those bears. I wonder if we can go get to $25 by 2021. I am confident in $25 by 2021. Very, very confident in that kind of a price range by 2021. But we'll see how that plays out. Middleway, how's it going, my man? What's up? What is happening? XRP's up, right? That's what's happening. XRP's pumping, staying above that 29-cent range. It's hungry. It's hankering for a 30-cent or a pump to 30 cents, and we're consolidating in a good range right now. That if we see continuation of this volume here, look at that sell volume. It's non-existent. Wow. Yeah, that's sell volume though, right? It's not even real, and we're like near a peak, so I think we might be seeing continuation. Honestly, this might actually have continuation off of it. We were looking at the XRP to BTC, and so it, you know, maybe Bitcoin's about to like start playing catch up. But at least against the dollar, it's looking like XRP still has room to run. You know, we're not seeing a heavy selling. We're just seeing like moderate sell pressure. We'll see. Well, duh. Will be much more, 50 to 10 million. What were you talking about? XRP TJ or JT? I think I already follow you on Twitter, don't I? Not I'll get you a follow because I see you in my comments, or I see you in my Twitter feed rather frequently. So if I don't, let me see. I thought I got you followed. Maybe I'm just thinking that I have you in my messages, in my DM box. JT. Dang you, phone. Dang you, internet! XRPJT. Wait, why am I seeing you? I'm not seeing you now. Are you not XRPJT on Twitter? Or is it one word? Entering my DMs here. I think I'm pretty certain you messaged me a while back. An article or something. Maybe not. So many of y'all with XRP in your name. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of everybody. My apologies, dude. If you at me, I'll throw you a follow though, cause I see you all the time, JT. Greetings from Portugal. Love your channel. Much love, Twiggy. Twiggy happened to also, just for because of your name, that was actually the name of my brother's pet squirrel. He found a baby squirrel a few years back and had to raise it. They named it Twiggy. Destroyed his grandmother's house, like just chewed up everything wood. It's crazy. It was a cute little squirrel, as long as you didn't touch it. Total a-hole, bite your hand off. Chew holes in your hand if you gave it the chance. But cute. Drew Fern, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. So yeah, that's nice price action. XRP in their name always joined after 2018. I will say that is a false statement because XRP is in my Twitter handle, and I joined in 2018. So debunked. I'm just playing. There will be a dip. Well, hurry up, Hazel. Manifest that dip for us so that the chat can buy it up and I can promote it in the DCA club because everybody's blowing me up again. Apparently we've been going for over an hour and it doesn't even feel like it. So I'm going to disable that again for another hour. And whenever that comes up, that's when I will probably call it a stream a do. Give you guys at least 2 hour stream looking at this price action, watching it, chatting, BSing. It's kind of been a slow news since I got back. I've been digging for stuff related to the traditional markets now because XRP news has been so slow. Outside of the FUD, but that kind of makes me bullish. That we're not seeing major announcements or big stuff coming out regarding XRP as much as we're just seeing FUD articles, and then all the mainstream media outlets are losing their crap about the potential of a recession. So. Which they flipped scripts yesterday. At least CNBC flipped script yesterday, and now they're talking about the fact, we're going on a new 20 to 30% return. It's going up. Don't worry. Well, it's probably going to go up. The stock market's probably going to go up because we're probably going to see a bailout. We're going to probably. I'm expecting to see the Fed cut rates, and then we're going to see quantitative easing come back into play, and stock market's absolutely going to boom. Because that's what happens when you devalue your currency. All the money escapes instead of into the money. There's not a run on liquidity. There's a run on getting out of the dollar, right? That's why the dollar is so overvalued right now. That's why it's so strong. That's bad. The dollar is strong. It means that people are hiding in the dollar. So they're either waiting for a move to maybe get into backed. What's up, Bioscience Academy? How's it going today, dude? Good to see you swing by. Overdone. So soon are we going to make anime real world. So soon. I cannot wait to have my own Squirtle, okay? Some of y'all out there might be Charmander fans, but that's why I'm getting a Squirtle, because I know most people like Charmander, and I'm all about type advantage and beating the crap out of y'all. So, I'm an overachiever and very competitive, so, I'll take any advantage that life gives me. So, Squirtle Squad for life. my cousin's over here making fun of me now. Hey, when do you think most XRP holders join the space? Like early 2018? Nope. Urjo, I think, actually early 2018. Yeah, probably. I think most XRP investors joined XRP between December and January, and I think most have gone away. I don't. Though we have seen. Let's pop out here. Now, obviously, it's hard to tell because of the fact that I guess I gotta come out to the daily here. We have seen a reversal in volume since our peak, right? Like our volume died out the most around July of 2018, and that was just before we pumped up here, right? And ever since, we've actually had increasing volume, and that's why I was really kind of confused, like that the price didn't like really run up back in June. We had like I know that I, as well as most people in the XRP community, were convinced, just sold that what we saw in June, or in May with the initial run up was we're going on the new bull run, because the volume has just been increasing, and it's not decreasing. The price is down, but the volume's up, and so that means that the market isn't acknowledging that the bear market's over. And so what's going on is there's a bunch of people with big bags. They're like, oh, well, I'm going to just sell into this volume because it's going to collapse out. But they're not keeping in mind that we're seeing a consistent trend of increasing volume. And that's an indicator that we have actually bottomed, because increase in volume that's not coming from institutional investors is an indicator that most people are confident in the fact that the market bottomed back last year, right? Even though it's lower now than it was then, the volume is still increasing. So yeah, I think we're gonna see something extravagant in the next year. I mean, we've already gotten close a few times to our volume. Like let's see how far away from like our volume right now, ever since May, has been about flat, about equal rather, to the average volume of what we had when we were up above $1. So to me, I feel like that's a pretty strong indicator that we're getting really close to the turning point where the market just has to go back up, because it's not going to be able to facilitate the volume that we're getting. And if it the only way they can facilitate that volume without going up is if it just becomes super volatile and it just do. And then guess what? Then everybody's gonna like start stacking their bags, because it's gonna be super easy to trade. I'll just set a sell order at $1 and a buy order at 10 cents, and I'll flip it 100 times until I own all the XRP. It's not gonna play that way, right? Life's not that easy to get rich. So $1 by tonight, Renee. If we get $1 tonight, I will send you 100 XRP. I will send you $100. If you called it right, Renee, I'm totally gonna give you $100 just for calling it right. But I don't think, I unfortunately don't think that we're going to increase that rapidly. Let's see. I joined at the end of 2018, somewhere around 34-35 pence British pound. Been buying the dips ever since. Pretty good time frame. You've been in almost as long as me. I bought back in August. I flipped from being a Bitcoin maximalist to a trader. I betrayed the Bitcoin community. I betrayed the ideology of F the bankers and said, I'm going to be a grown-up now. I've been a child for the last 29 years. It's time to be a grown-up and start working with the system as opposed to trying to tear it down. If you can't beat them, join them. And I'm convinced that I'm going to do a lot better having joined them as opposed to trying to beat them. It's just how the history books seem to be written. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe this will be the first time in human history that the masses actually won. Maybe. Well, I guess that's false. Arguably the masses did win in the American Revolution, so we're told. M. Grimes is asking to be added back into the chat. What do you... put me back in the chat. What chat? You're in the chat right here. M. Grimes, did you confuse me with someone else? Sorry, I didn't. I just missed your chat or your comments, but you're still here. No, you're still in the chat. My bad. I just wasn't really paying super close attention to the chat. Apologies. Let's see here. I started in Bitcoin, and for some unknown reason, I steered into XRP. Richie Rich. I would say that my reasoning for entering was actually there was legitimately good reason for me entering, and that's because XRP was being or Ripple began partnering with some pretty big or working, working with some pretty big brand names back in August of last year. That's around the time that we first heard about about Western Union coming out with their FUD saying that it wasn't working, but at the same time, MoneyGram was saying actually it's definitely profitable, and so I took that as an incumbent, MoneyGram, trying to suppress a threat to their system, whereas MoneyGram was like, yeah, this system is going to make it so that we can take over MoneyGram. And now look what's going on, right? So we can see him. Red 5 Golf, you're kind of a buzzkill, bro. Like you're being really negative. I don't know what's up. I don't know who whizzed in your Wheaties today, but dude, it's just some whiz. It's just a little salty, It's all good. A little salt never killed anybody. It's all. They aren't on screen. Oh, the chat's not on screen? Hold on, my chat window's goofy, that's why. Let me fix that. Oh. What am I looking at now? Why is it lock that? 1 second here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I need filters. We'll fix the chat here real quick. Crop. Need the left side. There we go. For whatever reason, the my chat box was a little bit goofy there. It should always. Yeah, I don't know how that got goofed up like that. And constrict. All right, now you'll be able to see your name in there, buddy. My bad. All right, but yeah, we absolutely see you, Grimes. Who got caught beating down gold? I wouldn't be surprised, but have you seen gold? I mean, can we really say that gold is down? I mean, like, what? Like, do you think that's being beat down to 1480 after it went on a run since May from 12? I mean, come on now. Pay attention to the overall price charts, guys. Let's actually look at the real price, not some nonsense garbage they're telling you on mainstream media. Oh, gold's going down. It's dying. No, they're telling you that it's going down because they don't want you to buy this dip. Same as like the FUDsters out there telling you that XRP is going to hell when it's already there. Prices are already in the gutter. It's not going any further in the gutter. I mean, maybe temporarily. I will entertain the idea that I'm gonna get lucky and be able to buy $1,000 worth of XRP at 20 cents, and then meet a few stretch goals because of it. I can hope. You can hope. We can all hope, but the reality is we're probably just being lied to about the price being overpriced, or XRP being overpriced still, so that we don't take advantage of this low. Maybe I'm cynical like that. Maybe I'm a little bit conspiratorial. I don't know. Probably. Admittedly, I'm probably conspiratorial, right? But oh well. I'm not worried. But that gold price, man, I can't wait till we see XRP doing that, right? Zerpers, Yosties. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't. That's actually that's such a beautiful wick. I really wouldn't be surprised if this just does continue on to 30. The volume is still looking really strong, and we're getting another freaking candle, white green candle, white candle here. Let's see. We'll see. Maybe it will fall out, but I don't know. The sell volume's just not there. It's just not. And then this. And then we got this, right? Look at that. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think that this might be a new bull flag forming. I think that this might have continuation. We'll see. If it can hold this trend for one more dip, I think we might be going back up. 'Cause that's pretty good. Like let's draw a fib on it and see what it does. Let's see what it's doing. Look at that. It won't even touch the 618. Maybe. Obviously, this is a really short-term trend because we're only looking at the 5-minute chart here, so it could absolutely be invalidated. But it's not even come down to its 618 on this short term. And if you move it down here, let's try from the beginning of this trend, right? We'll see what it's looking like on a larger. I guess it doesn't really matter either way because the price, like, yeah, this is good. This is bullish. Even still, I want to be bearish. Like, I want it to come down, but like, I'm trying to find a way to see, like, find an indicator that it's going to come down from here, but I'm not seeing anything. At least not here on Bitstamp. And our volume, our sell volume has dried up already. Like, it's decreasing here if you look at our volumes, right? That was our worst. And I think it correlates here to this guy. Yeah. To before we ran up even higher, right? Oops, delete that. And then this sell pressure that we're seeing, it's just non-existent here. Nobody wants to sell their XRP at 29 cents. Guys, why don't you want to take your short-term profits? I mean, we've been so low for the last 2 months. Surely it can't go any higher than this. What? Y'all are moon boys. Y'all are moon boys not selling your bags. What are you doing? Absolutely, cellmate. Absolutely. Leave the toxic tribalism to the maxis. Because we don't got time for that. We're here to make money and to preserve our wealth during what will be the worst recession, arguably a depression, worse than the Great Depression, you know, point in global financial history. Like, we are, I feel like we're really witnessing, we're all about to bear witness to literally the most mind-boggling market moves that humans will ever see, like, ever. But that's also me saying that because I don't believe that we're going to have money in another 20 years because it just there won't be a reason for it. The way technology is going, there's not going to be a reason for money. We're going Star Trek style, you know. But so maybe it'll last a little bit longer. You know, maybe money will last a little bit longer, and we'll see one thing that's even bigger than this, you know, in a decade or two. But I don't know. I think that we're about to witness what will go down in the history books as the most, you know, profound moment of wealth transfer that ever was. No one should sell. Hold on, Renee. I mean, I'm not selling. You know, y'all know that I'm just joking. I'd hope that everybody knows that I'm just joking. All that I'm going to do is buy if the price goes low. What's up, Andrew? How's it going? Glad you could stop in the chat, dude. Unbacked, it's the cheapest coin because they aren't showing SBI data until September 23rd. That will significantly increase the price. Interesting. That's an interesting hypothesis, Ron. I will say that it is odd that we don't see anything from SBI still, and it's been over a month. I'm really curious what the price is on SBI. Oh, pardon me. XRP is like Thanos. It's inevitable! Indeed, She-Town. That's the way I see it. Dude, that makes me wish that I would have used the Thanos picture for that, the 10,000. Just have Thanos snapping 10,000 XRP. Because he's flipping the switch, right? He's snapping the switch. I'm with him on November hypothesis. Whose hypothesizing November? Yoke the Joker is your favorite song from Naughty by Nature. Mine is Feel Me Flow. I'm not familiar with either. Oh, my sinuses. I don't know what's going on. I've got have an allergy attack or something today. It seems to be using the 9-day EMA as support on the 5-minute chart. I don't use 9-day. I stick to just traditional moving averages, but I guess that would be no, because I have the 50 here. Here, let me bring that forward. So on the minute chart, we're seeing the what would that be? 500 minutes. So like an hourly. So we're finding support on the hourly on the minute candle. So that's promising as well. It doesn't want to fall below this right now either by the looks of it, because that was a pretty strong jump off it just had. Oh no, let's pop back out to the 15. It's very consistent. Like it's kind of stable. Like it's definitely getting exponential, but it doesn't feel like it's really had its blow off top yet compared to like when you look at the actual movement, right? Like it feels like it could definitely go a lot more exponential before we see a correction in its price. The question is how far, right? Like it's just let's see. Where is it at? I forget which tool it was that lets you. I think it was this, right? No, not that one. I lied. That's not the chart I want. These are not the droids you're looking for. Yeah. Interesting. I forget what the dang tool is here that I'm looking for that will let me gauge how far we're going to move up. I thought it was fib channel, but I guess not. Pitchfork maybe? Okay, let's go like that. All right. Wow. All right, so if it goes exponential, we might be going up to 33 cents before we see a correction, which is actually that kind of makes sense. Yeah, if it continues on, 33 cents probably our next jump point, somewhere around there, 33 to 34. Hopefully. What's the picture behind me? What are you seeing here? Oh, it's a Putin head. My cousin hung up uh, here. Let me grab it. He hung up some strange things on the wall while I was in Pennsylvania, and this being one of them, right? So I'm going to tell you that you should absolutely buy Bitcoin because Russia, it loves Bitcoin. Yes, this is not my idea of decoration, but you know, I find it funny. I enjoy the memes if nothing else. I'm just not as hip as these young cats out here. That and I'm moving here, you know, moving out to the West Coast here in 2 days, so I'm not, or literally leaving tomorrow, so I'm not too worried. I don't care how he decorates his room. It's his room. XRP slow and steady. Hopefully finish the day above 30. XFin pumping too. What is XFin at now? Because it's been pumping for a while now. Zin. Oh, up 7% today. It's still under 10. It's still under $10 million market cap though. I mean, listen, I get that a lot of people are like excited for this Zinfin because somebody told you to go get into it. But like at the end of the day, it's just an altcoin. To me, it's just an altcoin that has a near non-existent market cap. And so, you know, it's so like really the reason this thing is pumping is because people are like, oh, you got to get in Zinfin because it's pumping. That's lemming mentality. Don't get caught in lemming mentality. If you weren't in Zinfin, you know, all you're doing is taking a risk that there's going to be a greater fool than you to get involved in Zinfin. Really, like, you know, maybe if I would have heard about Zinfin, you know, back in September or the beginning of September, you know, somebody said, hey, you should buy this Zinfin. It's down, but you know, there's this thing coming out that could cause it to go up. You know, what's the fundamental driver for it? Why is it run up like this? Is it purely speculation? Because I haven't heard anything real going on with it, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like it's not that like, you know, and I'm not trying to like downplay anybody that's made good returns on Zinfin. It's just, you know, I can't understand what's going on. I mean, not even in and out, really. Like, oh, my sinuses are just driving me nutty. But like, I guess like right now, if Zinfin has some kind of legitimate technical going on, like some or fundamental driver that's pushing it up right now would probably be a good time to get in because it has had this nice 30+% correction here, right? Where are we at? It went up to 0.25 cents and it's down to it's almost cut in half now since its peak back on, you know, what was that, the 17th? So it peaked today. Yeah, so since it peaked today, it's down almost 50%. So, like, it'd be a good time for anybody who believes in it, but I don't believe in it because I don't know what the hell it is, you know? And I can't find anything, like, that would indicate why it's pumping right now, other than FOMO. So, if you want to try to get some quick, short-term games, bruh, go put $10 in Zinfin and see what happens. But, you know, I'm not touching it personally. Y'all can do what you want, though, you know? It is rallying pretty solid. And I think that, let's see. Let's compare it to its previous, okay. So, it is nearing its BTC high back in December. It's over its dollar cost high from its previous peak in November. of last year. So it could absolutely be on a reversal trend right now. From a technical standpoint, it does seem that where it peaked out at, and the fact that it's got this consolidation, this strong consolidation, it might see continuation. It might. And it might take it up, from a technical, if you're just looking at TA and you're not caring about anything in the real world, maybe it goes up to 3 to 4 cent, or 0.3, 0.4 cent, somewhere in there, before it gets another correction. So it might, from where it's at, it could, from a technical standpoint, see a 2x or a 2x, maybe a 3x before its next correction, if it springs from this point, if it springboards from here, right? But again, I don't know anything about Zinfin, so play at your own risk. You know what I mean? Does it have good partners? Because why? If it has good partners, why is its market cap under $1 billion? I mean, that's what I want to know. Why, if this coin has so many good partners, why does it have less money than like my grandpa has in his retirement portfolio? Like, I mean, come on. I don't know that my grandpa has more money than that in his retirement portfolio, but I would assume it's probably around there. Not really. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about my grandpa's finances, but I know that he's not impoverished by any means. He's run a pretty successful business, but he's not Amazon. Oh, about Vet. Oh yeah, absolutely, Amos. Vet is good stuff. I definitely approve Vet. Yeah, Vet's not doing anything. It's strange how that works, right? The coins that actually have real world adoption, that have some serious partners backing them, they like to do a lot of nothing. I mean, it's doing a lot of nothing. I was gonna try and say it's doing something right now, but ugh. It's so flat though. It's so flat. Look at how flat that is. Oh my. Now is like, if you don't have Vet is promising. It does have a lot of really big partners, I admit. And I've followed Vet on and off for quite a while. And so, like, where it's at now, it could absolutely be the bottom for Vet. And, it definitely has room for some serious gains because, it's only a quarter of $1 billion market cap. So where was it at previously? At its peak, it looks like at its peak it had only a 1 billion market cap. So at its peak, if it peaked again, it'd be 4x, right? So, but again, we're expecting a paradigm shift, or a new paradigm for the entire crypto market within the next year or so, just based upon historical trends. And then, when you factor in the fundamentals on any one of these coins, some of them are going to just do silly things. I will say that even though I'm optimistic about Vet's future, in large part due to its partnerships, I don't see it being a significant store of value compared to other tokens, compared to other currencies such as XRP, such as Bitcoin, just because it's Bitcoin. I don't know that will capture a large amount of value because it's a logistics coin more than anything. Like it's targeting logistics, and logistics is, I think it's only like I think it's less than a $10 trillion market total. Let me just see. Let me make sure. Side global logistics market. Is this just Dublin? 12 billion. That's US. Is this just US though? That seems low. I swore it was in the trillions. though it is double digits. So maybe I just confused billion with trillion. When's this from? 2018. Yeah, so I mean, wow, I guess that is this just US? No, it's logistics globally by the looks of it. Okay. So yeah, I mean, keep that in mind, right? Vet is targeting an industry that's and as a whole, logistics market as a whole is only worth about $10 billion. You know, and it's expected to only be worth about 12.6 by 2023. So that 12.6 billion, if vet became like the de facto conquistador of the logistics market, then at its peak, vet chain, you know, would be worth about 12 billion market cap, which, you know, that's still great gains. That's still super great gains for a cryptocurrency that's worth only $250 million right now, right? That'd be like, that's a 24x or a 48x increase, you know, basically a 50x increase in your potential there, in like a 4 or 5 year investment. So yeah, that could absolutely make some serious gains. But you know, that's not, yeah, it's a real use coin. Absolutely. I have a lot of faith in vet. You know, it's the same thing with it's the same thing with Cardano and EOS, right? Like, I believe in their platforms, even though I believe it's, I get them mixed up. Is it EOS that's, no, it's who is it that has an inflationary? It's not EOS, it's IOTA. IOTA can print? Is it EOS or IOTA that can create more coins? It's, I always get them confused for some reason. Direct acyclical graphic instead of conventional blockchain. Quantum proof protocol. No fixed. Okay, yeah. So IOTA can be printed. That's actually like, okay, yeah. But I think EOS can too. Actually, maybe it's both of them. Fixed. Nope. Doesn't even say anything about fixed supply. I feel like it's only, maybe it's only IOTA that has a non-fixed supply then. But yeah, like EOS, I expect is going to do great. Like, I feel like it probably will, like, it's either going to be EOS or TRX that's going to win the social media. And to be completely honest, you know, the way that Brave is positioning itself, Bat token might actually like outshine both of them, EOS and TRX, right? Like, that's an ecosystem that I'm not, you know, I'm not vested in EOS or TRX or really any BAT beyond what I have just from using Brave browser. But and that's mainly because I don't know, I can't tell yet. It's too early to tell which of those is going to really be like the big winner. I don't know really anything about Tezos, honestly. I've heard about it so many times. I've personally not done any research into it. But, you know, it's the 19th top, most valuable coin here, just under $1 billion market cap, and it's up nearly 10% right now. And it's you know, that's kind of weird. Why is it? Did they fuck? All right. Can you guys hear me? Are we good? Are we back? I lost internet signal for a second there. Right now, we are looking at XRP's price on Bitstamp, but I'm going to check out Binance here because I know that that's what most of y'all probably use, either Binance or Coinbase, if I had to guess. Let's jump out to the daily. Actually, because we're watching something rather outside of the norm here, we're gonna go ahead and draw a short-term fib that should be able to, hopefully, with any luck, we'll be able to project where this is gonna peak out at, right? A little bit better. So we'll just play with that for now. We'll see where that moves us. And then we'll hop in here to the 15-minute. All right. Let's bring that back in range, because that's a little bit out there. A little bit out of parameters here. I feel like I think technically you're supposed to set your 1 from your fib to wherever the candle closed, but you know, we're on the 15-minute chart, so it's probably not as relevant. So we'll just set it to the wick. Just for shiz and gigs. Just for shiz and gigs. Good day to you, Lum Lum. Now I will focus on the road and listen. Well, I appreciate you for stopping by. And yeah, I'll try and keep it entertaining. I use Kraken to see what's cracking. Oh, sorry. I was just trying to make a pun on you, Milway. To see what the charts are like. Yeah, I prefer to use lower volume exchanges, namely because I feel like their price moves are more stable, and less, because you have less people coming in and being like, raw. So like it's less susceptible to FOMO or like, you know, flash crashes from masses of people. So like whenever you see big moves on them, it's usually like it's a little bit easier to write off, be like, oh well, that was just a whale pumping a low volume exchange. And those are a little bit easier to tell because, you know, it's volume, not, you know, there's low volume but a big price change. Could this be the end of 4 for 1? I feel like it is. It's already the end of 4 for 1. We're at 29 cents, dude. We're at 29 cents, dude. You might get like one more chance to get in at like 25 cents, like 4 for a buck, but you know, I don't think it's coming anytime soon. We are trying, but I don't see it hitting it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's definitely wanting to find support in this range, right? Like that's kind of clear. Look at this. Look at this. The sell volume. Oh, guys, this is beautiful. This is like, it's like a bad bitch. It's a bad bitch. That's what it is. XRP is a bad bitch right now, and y'all should be celebrating, because look at that descending sell volume as the price is wedging upward, right? This is like everything you want to see whenever you're hoping for continuation. I need to level that out a little more with these ranges here, so that, yeah, that's a nice wedge. That's a nice, or a ascending, not wedge, ascending triangle. What? Yeah, ascending triangle, ascending wedge. I'm like, it's been so long since I've used these terminologies, since I haven't done TA in so long. I'm actually like sitting here like, wait, is that the appropriate term for what I just made, or is that ascending wedge, ascending triangle? I think that's what it is. A triple top, let's go, Dumperino. Yeah, it is doing it right now, right? Up, up, nice try. Guys, I told you, we're buying dumps, okay? Stop facilitating the pumps. Gah! I just want to buy one more time, guys. One more time I want to be able to buy XRP below 25 cents, okay? Just once. One more, okay? I know that's me asking for you guys to suppress the price until after the 23rd when I get my next YouTube paycheck, but come on. To what statement? What statement did I miss there, XRPJT? That's about it. Just do your own research. Oops. Yeah. Ryan, just wait and stop hating. Was it? Am I responding to Ryan? Is that who I'm supposed to be? I don't know. Thanks. I will check it out. I need XRP paper wallet suggestions, please. Nano? I mean, that's what I suggest to everybody because that's what I have. Nano S. Not even the X because I don't want Bluetooth capability and an internal battery supply in the device which my digital assets, my long-term XRP is stored on. What was the question I missed? $1 would be nice. From Codeword, how's it going, dude? I'd make a decent coin, but that'd be down the road, I'm assuming. But they've partnered with Chemeg? Wait, for who? Who's partnered with them? What exchange is you watching price on for XRP? 1 million could be $1 in the future. Wait, what coin are you talking about? Oh, Vet still. Okay. Yeah, Vet. I'd like to. I don't know. I hope that Vet kind of stays low, personally, since I'm not in it yet. Because I do see promise in it, but like I want to see the actual financial institutions, support this industry before I get into logistics or anything outside of finance, because like the way I see it, until the financial, it's like what I was saying earlier about retail. It doesn't matter if all the retail investors in the world invest in something. If Walmart and institutional, if companies don't accept that coin as money, you're not going to be able to spend it. Therefore, the value will ultimately be removed from that network because it's going to go to a currency that you can use as a currency, as opposed to something you're just speculating on. In the same way, I think that before we can see Amazon and Google and consumer-facing institutions utilize a currency, first, the groups who provide them, whose business they seek out, the banks and financial institutions who give them loans, they need to become involved for companies, consumer-facing companies, retail-facing companies to become involved. Because the banks are the consumer-facing end of, their consumers are the companies. Companies' consumers are retail, right? So like you have to go from the top of the pyramid down for these things to actually have the preservation of their value. That's just my perspective on it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it goes the other way, but that didn't seem to work with Bitcoin. Yeah, it is starting to run sideways, kind of, not really. Like look at this. Like where the price is right now, I mean, it can still absolutely, it's got to come down to the and break down below this 29.1 here for me to be like, oh yeah, it's done. Aiden at school wanted to say, hey, Aiden, get back to studying, dude. What are you doing? You got to get them A's. But really, we both know C's get degrees, and you're probably gonna be wealthier than everybody in your class who goes and gets that college degree anyway, right, dude? Thanks for the 2 bones there, buddy. Good to see you in the chat. Hopefully you don't get in trouble watching. Half the world's money into XRP. I mean, Rick, my guess is we're probably gonna see something like 60%, maybe a little bit more. But that's based off of like it's like when there's a law, a financial law, an adoption law that I'm trying to think of as far as like how much of a monopoly the winner of an ecosystem tends to capitalize on, like Google, right? I think it's like 60% of all, over 60% of all internet searches are done through Google, and then you have Bing, and then Yahoo, so on and so forth. But the bulk is done by the incumbent, the winner of the space, the larger majority. And I think it's like, oh, I can't think of the name of the law, but I think that's what we're going to probably see with XRP. It's going to be like the primary winner. It's going to have like 60% of the market cap, and then we'll see like 25% go into the hands of Bitcoin, stay in the hands of Bitcoin, and then like the remaining goes to what other ever coins. I mean, never say never, but you're entitled to your opinion, Rick. In 10 years' time, God knows what XRP will be. All the coins that survive will make huge gains. JRM, I think I agree more with you than disagree. Right? I think that any digital asset with a fixed supply that's not an ERC20 probably got a good chance in the long term. Probably got a good chance, and that's purely because of the fact that it is there are finite supplies. People don't understand how valuable it is for something to have a finite supply. Just that one attribute is why things are able to mature in value against anything that has an infinite supply. And the crazy thing about living in the physical world, living in reality, when it comes to anything, everybody likes to pretend that gold is this finite thing and that silver is this finite thing, but like there's asteroids whizzing by us on a regular basis that have more gold in them than exists left on the crust of the earth. So we only got to pull one asteroid into orbit for us to be able to have access to more gold than the whole of human civilization has seen enter circulation in total, right? So gold's not a finite thing. It's only finite because we haven't put in the effort, spent a few $1 billion to get an asteroid into orbit so that we have infinite gold, for all intents and purposes. The thing is, you can't redirect an asteroid with more XRP on it, right? It's just not going to happen. So even gold is eventually going to hyperinflate in value compared to XRP or to any other digital asset with a fixed supply. It doesn't matter if we become a spacefaring race that has access to infinite silver and infinite gold and infinite water. All these things are for all intents and purposes infinite on a universal scale, but XRP is not. Bitcoin is not, right? Fixed supply digital assets. The one thing that it doesn't matter how advanced we get, we're not going to be able to increase the supply that we have access to. So that's why I'm like, it's impossible, right? It's like JRM just said. It's impossible to say what these assets' prices become worth within the next, decade. Within the next 5 years, it's impossible to say. When you look at it in a 10-year span, holy crap. Guys, do y'all remember that 10 years ago, none of us had smartphones? Well, I mean, the mass majority of us did not have smartphones. And I don't know many people that would call, like, the chocolate. Looking back, I don't know that I'd even call the chocolate a smartphone because, does anybody remember trying to use the internet on a chocolate back in the day? That was some, like, stupid stuff, right? Like, it was like 16-bit or 32-bit color code on that thing, right? Like, that wasn't a smartphone, that was a dumb phone. But it's a cool phone. I loved my chocolate back in the day. But, I also remember that in 2009, if you had one of those, you were a little bit more affluent or a little bit more up to the trend than the average person in 2009 if you had a smartphone. Yeah, absolutely. Get your spacesuit, guys. We're going to Mars. We're going to the moon. We're going to take a quick pit stop there. We're going to laugh at Jeff Bezos for limiting his sites to the moon. And then we're going to go with Elon Musk to Mars. That's how it's going to work. We're going to start a new, highly advanced, technologically focused society on Mars, where the only thing we care about is the betterment of our Martian Federation, and we'll leave Earth to the way of the dogma. The dogma can stay here on Earth. They can do their dogma thing. They can kill each other over dogma, and we'll just be techtopian society, a tech utopia, right? It might go the way of what's the Blade Runner. Maybe we go Blade Runner out on Mars, but at least we are the ones who are on top because we're investing in this ecosystem early, right? Oh, it's terrible. Yes, I do. Was worse than dial-up, but I loved my Moto Razr. Oh, the Razr was great too. Absolutely, Ron. Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't. It's hard to think about where we're going in 5 years when you really look at what has happened in the last decade. Rick, you must be 12. You must be a child. You must be somebody who has not been alive long enough to realize how rapidly society is advancing at this point in time. And either that or you do not understand that we live in a point in time where technology and the economic value that technology produces is growing at an exponential rate. It's not going up linearly even. It's going up exponentially. So the only person that's delusional is somebody that thinks that trend is ending when every single indicator, no matter what aspect of civilization you look at, it's not saying it's slowing down. Everything's saying that it's going up. They've stopped using the term exponential for how technology is increasing, and they've started coining this new term called jolting, because exponential doesn't even explain how rapidly we're watching trends advance now. They're saying, well, it's not just exponential, it's a jolting advancement. It's so fast that it's breaking out of Moore's law. Moore's law is not bullish enough to explain how rapidly technology is now advancing as of 2018 until present, right? So it is absurd for any of us to assume that we know how advanced we're going to be within just the next 5 years, let alone 10, right? It's impossible to say. Can the battery in the Nano X be replaced if need be? I do not know, Ron. I don't own a Nano X, so I can't say for certain. I would hope so, right? Because that would be that'd be really unfortunate. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if the battery can be replaced, then all you'd have to do is, like, if the battery died, all you'd have to do to access it is just treat it just like a Nano S, just plug it in and only be able to use it when it's plugged in. But yeah. Pardon me. XRP pumping while Bitcoin not pumping. Ah, is that why there's some angry people in chat? Are they Bitcoin maximalists who are like, screw this XRP, it's not going to continue going up. Bitcoin's staying flat. XRP can't go up. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still hoping that XRP dumps, and I have more money in XRP than I do in Bitcoin, but I still want XRP to go down because I want to buy more. All right, I need to see bigger gains, bigger dollar value gains. Okay, the percentage is going to be the same, but the dollar value is going to be different. I just got to get more. One manufacturer stops making that model, it can appreciate depending on the utility value, supply, and demand. XRP is like a truck used to transfer value. Ooh, I like that analogy. I like it. And you know what's also cool? Most cars, after you drive, if you drive a car off the lot, it loses half its value. You drive a truck off the lot, it might lose 25% of its value, face value, but give it 5 years and it's going to still have only lost 25% of its value. That car goes from 50 to 80% over a 5-year period. That truck, after 10 years, it's probably going to gain value as long as you take care of it because it's a truck. It's got utility. Car doesn't have utility other than getting you from point A to point B. Truck does, though. So yeah, that's a great analogy, Ryan. I don't even know if you meant that to the extent that I pulled out of that, but that's a great analogy. Finite assets will always appreciate. Land is the obvious example. But if you think about it, yeah, land is another good example. But again, with the land kind of goes into what I was saying about gold, right? Once we start colonizing other planets, land, who cares about land? What? Dude, if I can't buy land on Mars, I'm just gonna go buy some land on Titan, okay? What? Right? Like, it is science fiction to think of those things right now, but at the same time, when you have people in the world like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos who are hell-bent on making humans a multiplanetary species, it's gonna not be sci-fi a lot sooner than most people think. It's gonna go from being sci-fi to science fact real quick. And that's kind of like all things, when you think about anything that humans have done, over the course of our history, our favorite thing to do as humans, it seems, is to take the science fiction and make it science fact. Wireless communication device. Go back to 1990 and try and tell somebody that you're going to have a device that's thinner than a passport and can fit in this palm of your hand, and it's going to give you access to communicate with anyone on the face of the planet at any point in time. Oh, and it's going to be you're also going to be able to access the whole of human knowledge, or the majority, almost the whole, like 99% of all of human knowledge from that little tiny device. They're going to look at you like you're freaking crazy, like you're bonkers. You're batshit. You're batty, dude. You think that you're going to be able to access all of human understanding from a device that fits in your hand. What? Okay, dude. Go back to enjoying your meth or whatever it was that everybody was hooked on back then that they'd say you're on if you're thinking big picture, right? BTC is the Model T. XRP is a Lambo. Oh yeah, BTC. I'm gonna go a step farther, Ron. I'm gonna say Bitcoin is the Model T, the combustion engine. XRP, it's the Tesla. It's the minimal moving part, highest energy capitalization system that exists. Is there going to be something that comes about that's better than the electric car? The fusion powered car, maybe, or fission powered fusion. Yeah, the fusion powered car, maybe the fusion powered car comes next, right? We're going to have hydrogen powered cars soon. That's the only thing that replaces the electric car, and there's no fusion powered digital asset, for that analogy yet. It's just the king is dead. Long live XRP. BTC was the initiator. XRP is the successor. Yeah, I was saying to somebody in comments talking about if whether or not the dollar hyperinflating is going to be like the catalyst for this bull market. And I absolutely think so. I think that the dollar is dead already. It's dead already, and it's just late to its own funeral. That's it. The writing is on the wall. And the economists have been saying that since before Bitcoin even became before digital assets even became a craze. They've been saying that the dollar is doomed. Since 2009, since the bailouts, people have been saying. People like Peter Schiff, who, he might not be hip to the digital asset trend, but Peter Schiff has been saying since 2008, or since the 2009 bailout, rather, that the dollar's dead. It's done. Game over. Okay, here we go. We got a breakout. We got a break below. So we probably are about to correct back to the 28.7 cent range now that we broke below here. Get to the pricing here since we're actually seeing something relevant happen, right? So we might crack down here, and we're probably going to run flat. And then we'll try and test this ascending range probably after we dip down here. We'll try and test that. And there's probably like a 60% chance now that we'll break below that. So this is probably our new trend range. We're probably gonna like try and come back up and test around here. This might be like right where we get, right? Something like this. So expect the price to boom, boom, and then my guess is that we're gonna break lower, and we're gonna come down and do that test of the 28 cent range, like I said. So something like that. And then we'll see what happens there. But that said, the sell volume is not really increasing still. Even though we did come down here, our sell volume is not really going up. It's kind of staying about where it was before. It is no longer decreasing though, right? So the sell volume's flattening instead of going down. So we could see a capitulation move when the volume just dump out, and that might come here. That might be what'll happen. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a capitulation move, and it'll push us down to just under 28 cents. Maybe even back down to like test this range, because we didn't really consolidate too long there. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, it's probably gonna be something like that. So like here, let me remove that. Be a little more bearish with this. What our potential is here, right? Oop, that was too far. That was too bearish. Too bearish. Hold on here. Boom, boom, boom. Right. That's probably what we're looking at. Now that we've broken our short-term support there. We'll see though. If the return doesn't respect this, it pushes back above this what was our support. If it doesn't turn that into resistance, then maybe it's just gonna trend sideways. But I feel like we're gonna resist off this, and we're gonna crash, and we're gonna resist off of this new descending. Most likely. That seems most probable now. Is XRP still for long? Yeah, I mean, XRP will still be for long until the financial institutions say, screw XRapid, we're gonna adopt Lightning Network. Not happening. It's just not. It's too expensive to use Bitcoin's network for processing payments. It's just way too expensive. Early. We are early. I've been early since 2016. I mean, you were super early if you got in 2016, the boiling teapot. Stupid early. I mean, but if you got in 2016, let's be real, dude. Are you complaining about your gains since 2016? Like, I'd kill for the gains that you had since you apparently got in 2016. Literally, I'd murder for it. For 36,000% gains? Because you got in before the 2017 bull run? No doubt. DLT tech is the only game in town now. That's why I'm not worried at all about what's going on with anything outside of Ripple, because Ripple pioneered Hyperledger, and Hyperledger distributed ledger technology makes it so that the blockchains, our individual XRP, Bitcoin, so on and so forth, they're irrelevant now. And because Ripple was the one who really got that DLT initiative off the ground and made a successful platform through Hyperledger, or Hyperledger made a successful platform that utilizes XRP at its base, that's why everybody else is irrelevant now. Because XRP is the one that's there, and we're moving up, right? Oh, no, I get you, man. Like, it's just, yeah, no complaints. We are just worth way more and should hold that value. Yeah, absolutely. But, like, yeah, it's like, you know, like, that's kind of mentality that a lot of people need to understand, though, is like, you got in 2016, so you've already seen, like, you've already seen gains. But even still, we're still early, even after you had the ability to capitalize on crazy gains from the 2017-2018 bull run, right? And yet you're still early. We're all still early. That's what's crazy to think about, is that we haven't even hit the point in adoption where the early investors, the smart money, hasn't even all come in yet. You know, those of us who are in right now, we're like the genius money. You know, smart money, where are they at? They're not even here yet, right? So what does that make us? Kai, XRP is dumb. With this name, you need to get banned here too, dude. What did he say? Did he say something ban-worthy? Well, in all fairness, I was trolling him a little. Is he trying to troll me? Who got butthurt by your name? Oh, Alex banned you. I mean, yeah, with a name like that, you're kind of asking for being banned, dude. I mean, come on now. That's like some, you know, some like high school drama, petty, childish nonsense to be like XRP dumb in my name. Like, what? Come on, dude. Bitcoin dumb. Like, if I made my channel name Bitcoin's dumb, I'd probably have more views from Bitcoiners hating on me than what I'm actually talking about XRP, right? Like, come on now. You're just trying to flame people. You're trying to trigger people, and that's just childish. He just got banned by Alex. It's really childish. Like, it really is. Anybody who's out there whose name is in an attempt to trigger somebody is childish. And I don't even know you, bro. But, like, I know that you're childish with such a name like that. It's literally just verifiable because we know what you're doing. It's also really bad troll. It's like a really bad troll to do that too. But like Bitcoin dumb. Yeah, go change your name to Bitcoin dumb and come in an XRP chat. But then, you know, you're still doing the same thing. The Bearable Bull pumped XRP with his video. I know, right? That his Bearable Bull's newest video is like spot on, like premium grade stuff. Like, I'm jealous that I didn't make such a video, but you know, it's the Bearable Bull, so you know he's good at making that kind of content. And if you guys don't know what video eSpirit's talking about, you guys need to go check out Bearable Bull's newest video. It's like an hour long. Just put it on that 2x speed, watch through it. So many amazing, like, so much content, so much information condensed into an hour that it will be like, if you're an XRP investor, it'll be the most informative hour you've probably ever watched. And it's because he's talking about everything that's happened over the last 2 years almost. He condenses into one video. So as opposed to watching like a video like I make or somebody else makes, like a 10 to 20 minute video talking about one thing, he talks about 100+ different things, 100+ different reasons why we all believe in this ecosystem. So for a lot of us who have been in the ecosystem, paying attention to things over the last few years, if anything, it's going to be a refresher and a reminder of why it is that we're so confident in this investment. And to those of you who are new, you'll understand why we're investing in this, you know? Bearable Bull 101 reasons. Oh, it was like therapy. It did, right? It felt like it because it was like, oh yeah, you know, I've been feeling kind of bearish, you know, about where the price is going to go in the short term. But then I watched that, I'm like, who knows? Things could just boom at any second, and we don't know because we don't know what the plan is. You know, we just know what the plan is XRP. We don't know the dates though. we don't know the dates for that plan to really just kick off. You know, they keep giving us hints saying, oh, Q4. You know, our last hint was SBI. Better watch out for that SBI dump. But, you know, maybe XRapid use for MoneyGram is going to be different. Q4, maybe that's a pump. Maybe that's the pump scenario. We don't know. But there's so much strong fundamental development coming out that it's impossible. It would be foolish of any of us to say that the price is more likely to go down than up, right? Like, I would like to say that XRP is going to go to 20 cents so that I can get a better buy-in, but I'm saying that just with the hope that I get a better opportunity to buy. You know, it's not from any reason that I think that it should, other than I think that there's a bunch of irrational bears in the market still because they haven't been proven wrong yet. And until the traders TA is proven wrong by some, you know, reversal in price action that's outside of their technical indicators, it's just going to keep doing what it's doing because traders create a self-fulfilling prophecy in price movements. And that self-fulfilling prophecy goes until it stops going, until something occurs, some fundamental driver actually has a real impact on the market, and then it's over. The traders stop being bears, they stop being short-sighted bears and become short-sighted bulls. And that's how you get the transition. That's how you get a market going from, you know, this continual slow lower volatility, you know, ever lower volatility downtrend to an ever increasing volatility uptrend. As far as where the low goes, you know, I still want to see 20 cent. I still want to see it, Kai. That's what I feel that 20 cent will be our lowest point we can go. But you know, for all I know, that 22 cent dump that we saw last month, you know, at the beginning of last month or the end of last month rather, that 22 cent low. Oh, I guess it was the middle of last month down here, 22 cent. Why is it not showing it? What? Maybe I gotta come out to the daily here. Where? August 14th. So like that 22 cent might be our low. Might have been the low. But I'd still like to see a 20 cent low. I'd still like to see it. It just doesn't seem like the price wants to. Now, we do, how many hours do we have until this closes? I think it's 7 p.m., right? Okay, so we have 6 hours until the candle closes on the daily, and we really want to see if we're gonna see bullish continuation. The daily candle needs to close above this. It needs to close above this 28.6 cent. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, like I was just saying, it at least on the 15-minute, it seems bearish. On the hourly, for all we know, that could just be, you know, a short-term correction from the rather strong uptrend that we just had. On the 4 hour, that's a pretty hard wick, but we also have another hour and a half left in this. And then on the daily, obviously, you know, again, we're hoping to get that close above the 28.5 cent mark for a really nice pop up afterwards. It dumps to 28, then it pops up. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I feel like that play could absolutely still unfold middle way, that we dump down the 28 and then we see a pump up to like 33, 34 cent. I could absolutely see that just as easily as I can see the price, you know, coming down and slumping back to the 26 cent trying to retest itself, failing, and then going to 20 cent, right? Like I could see it going either way, and I'd be cool with either way. As I keep saying, I'd be much cooler with the dump to 20 cents so that I can really load my bags up. But if not, I just got to start buying at higher prices, because if we get a trend reversal if we get a reversal and it goes back up to, it goes up to 34 cent, I think that we're going to see at least a few months of bullish action. Yeah, I think everybody really would like 20 cent. It'd be great to buy in. But that's kind of the way that the unfortunate side of that, right? Like the more of us who want to see something, the less likely it actually is that something's going to play out. Because if the majority of people were given the price that they want, the majority of people wouldn't be poor. It's just statistics, right? So obviously, since most of us want to see the price go to 20 cents, we're probably not going to get that opportunity, because other people are going to get impatient, expecting it or wanting the 20 cent and saying, well, it got close enough, I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy at 22 cents. Oh, it didn't go to 20 cents, and it's bouncing back from 22, so I'm going to buy at 24. I'll buy at 25 because, it doesn't seem to want to stop. It just keeps going up, So we'll see how the dip plays out. It definitely seems like we've wicked pretty hard here on the 4 hour though. So if this doesn't bounce back here within the next hour, it might be ugly. But we'll see. I'm done. I don't like to say one way or the other what way thing is going to go, because nobody knows. We can only guess. Let's see. It is a new currency and very few even know about it. Yep, that's exactly right. That's why so many people parrot all day, every day that we're all so early to this, because most people just laugh at you if you tell them that you're investing in digital assets, because they're ignorant. They don't know what's going on the global stage. They don't pay attention. Most Bitcoiners don't even pay attention to the global stage. I'm rich, bro. I drive a Ferrari on the weekends. Wasn't easy, but I'm proud, and still working just as difficult, or diligently. Yeah, I feel it, Tebow. And that's the thing too, is like, when it comes to wealth, like I've been, maybe I don't know because I'm not rich, but I do, like, I enjoy indulging myself with self-help books and self-help videos, and like learning the mentalities necessary to build a portfolio that will gain me wealth over time. And the thing that most people fail to understand is being wealthy is not, it's not made through one little event. It's a mindset. And what that means is that it doesn't matter if you become rich. If you do not have a wealthy mindset, guess what? You're hood rich, and you're going to blow it on a bunch of crap, and then you're going to be broke just as quickly as you got rich. So you're not going to be wealthy. Wealth is something that you achieve and you maintain, because you don't become complacent with what you've obtained. Mage Tablino. Martian, how much XRP do you need to become a millionaire? Depends on how high you think XRP is going to go. I think that XRP goes to 10,000. So I think if you even have, obviously, 100 XRP, if you hold long enough, you hold that 100 XRP long enough, you'll be a millionaire. That said, I expect to be a millionaire by $10. That's when I'll be a millionaire. You become a millionaire at the dollar value that whatever amount of XRP you choose to risk owning can be multiplied or divided by, take whatever amount of XRP you have, divide it by 1 million, And that's the dollar value you need to see it go to. It's a different dollar value for each and every last one of us. You know? So I hope to, if I hope that I'm given the opportunity to be able to become a millionaire when XRP hits $1. I don't think that I'm going to be able to get that much money in this before it goes up to $1. But, you know, that'd be awesome. Because then when XRP hits, you know, $1,000, I'm a billionaire. Screw being a millionaire. I want to be in the billionaire club, right? That's why I'm greedy as all hell right now. So, you know, if that's how much you have, and I'm going to get rid of that because you shouldn't be talking about how much you have. Thank you, whoever got that, Ron. But yeah, when it comes to that amount, you know, you'll be a millionaire by $100 before. Maybe, or you'll be with that amount, you'll be a millionaire by, would it be 10? It'd be $20. $20, you're a millionaire. Congratulations, right? But yeah, you absolutely shouldn't ever talk about your bag size. Like, it's just, I know, I because it will make you a target when you become a millionaire for scammers and anybody who just wants to get rich by, you know, taking advantage of somebody else's hard work. Oh, you'd be surprised, Mage. I could probably, if I, you know, I'm not even a hacker. I'm not even a programmer, but I could probably find you. I could probably find out who you really are. You'd find your, and as soon as I find out who you are, it wouldn't be that much harder for me to go from knowing who you are to figuring out your passwords, because most humans aren't very bright when it comes to the passwords they choose. Just saying. I bet that I'm betting that your bank PIN is one of 4 different things, one of 4 different figures, you know, digits, and it's based upon who you are, not based upon some random extrapolation. Neither is Jade. Jade is not my real name, but I know that people know my real name and my actual, you know, date of birth and everything like that. You think I'm out here sharing my real name? No, but I know that there's plenty of people who are intelligent enough to figure out who I really am. Like, it's not hard. It's really not hard. We live on the internet, dude, and there's always a trail. There's always going to be a digital trail that leads back to who you are. No, but yeah, apparently you have a digital wallet, and guess what? Your bank account, that's on a private ledger. Your XRP, that's on a public ledger. So you told me how much XRP you had. I know that you have an email account associated with the YouTube account, Mage Tobliano. Only so hard to find the Gmail, right? Like, there's a reason why I don't talk about. You're the Martian from Mars or not? You know, yeah, I'm actually from Mars, dude. I mean, I am a Martian. Like, my name does indicate that I'm from Mars. You know, I just don't know if it's just not the planet Mars. You know, it's just not the planet Mars. I'm a descendant of the god of war. Can you believe I made 130,000 on Apollo because I bought a few million? Apollo before launch date, then sold week after launch. There is money anywhere you look. Just do it. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Tebow, and maybe I should probably start listening to you as far as like small cap investments, because you know you definitely seem to be pulling bank quite frequently. But I'm just the kind of person who I'd rather look for something that is going to be a long-term gainer, a long-term return, and just, you know, play the slow and steady race, because I don't have a lot of luck. You know, very unlucky person, historically speaking. It is a pleasure to share this journey with you, my man. Well, I appreciate that you are on this journey with me, Thy. Crypto Mike, what's up, dude? Let's get together and find this dude's XRP, Jade. You're gonna send me 5,000 XRP if I find out who you are. No, if I find out if I actually put the effort in to find out who you are, Mage, I'll be taking all that amount of XRP you said that you have in chat. But don't worry, I'm not a black hat. I mean, I consider myself a white hat, but I'm probably a gray hat, right? Because I don't like the law, but you know, I still abide by a moral code. So I think that makes me a gray hat, technically speaking. But yeah, yeah. Mic check, mic check. Is this thing on? What's up, Heaven Beatbox? Damn thieves, I'm dangerous, right? That's the way I say it, Tebow. I'm like, you know, I got nothing to lose. So if somebody takes the one thing from me that I got to lose, my XRP, you know, the gloves are coming off, and you'll find out why Jade doesn't care that he's 110 pounds. He'll still kill you. Right. All right, guys. Well, I think that the price is probably just going to consolidate in this range now that we've seen this run up. I appreciate all of y'all for tuning in, though. So thank you all. I'm going to see about getting another video out today before the end of the day. But I got to do all kinds of packing, get all my stuff sorted together because I am going to be leaving for Area 51 tomorrow afternoon. Going to start driving. It's going to be like over a 24-hour drive. So gonna try and break it up over 2 days to get out there to Area 51. And I want to be there before the 20th. So hopefully I'll be there. You know, hopefully I'll be able to get a video to you guys from Nevada in the middle of the desert. I don't know. We'll see how bad the internet is out there. I'm worried that I'm even going to be able to live stream whatever's going on out there. I'm probably going to realistically have to like take video and then, you know, upload it whenever I get to San Francisco or to Civilization again. But we'll see what happens. But again, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Rexy, real quick before I hop off here, just to round up what we're seeing in the price. We had a nice low run up to 20 or almost 30 cents. We rejected though, so I'm expecting that the price is probably going to consolidate down to the 27-cent range. And if it does, then we'll probably just like play in there for the next day or so. However, there is still a slim chance that we bounce from where we're at right now back up. And if we get that bounce back up, then we can see prices as high as 34 cents in the near future, in the next 24 hours. But, you know, again, nobody knows for certain which way it's going to go in the short term. I would love to see a $10 by the end of year, Mage. But again, it's all speculation. Nobody knows for certain when the switch is going to be flipped. So it'll happen when it happens. So I hope you all have a fantastic day, rest of your evening. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Oop, wrong one.